Right, what's up guys, SnowShovel here, and I said I would do a little Zowie FK review, so I will. This isn't going to be really all that in-depth. This is just kind of like my reflection upon the mouse after using it for about a week, and yeah, so it's a pretty good mouse. This is my old AM right here. Obviously I haven't been using it. In comparison to the FK, the shape is very... it's drastically different. And at first, I thought it was just going to be like these side grooves would be different, but when you first pick it up, you notice that the little groove inlets on the right and left mouse click are indented, and it kind of forces you to place your fingers on the mouse a certain way, and that's just something I had to get kind of used to. With the AM, I didn't have to really move my fingers a certain way. They just kind of laid on top of the mouse buttons, but in this one, they're more in the center and they're more spread apart than how I would hold it with an AM. If you're used to ambidextric mice, this is probably one of the best. This is probably closer to a Sensei than an AM, I would say. The way the mouse is laid out and how it feels in your hand. It's probably, yeah, I would say a Sensei. Obviously, it's slightly different than a Sensei, but that's the closest I can really come to comparing-wise to another shape. Tracking-wise, it's the same sensor as an AM. They haven't really changed anything with the sensor. It still performs the exact same as an AM, and you get a really awesome optical sensor that's been has a custom lens on it, so the liftoff is nice. I'll get into that in a second, but basically, it's the same mouse as an AM, just the different shape, and the switches are slightly different. I've noticed that. So let me go over the switches real quick, and then I'll go over the sensor. The switches on the AM are very tough. They're very resistant. I kind of like that. That was kind of a personal preference, and I really like that about tapping. With this one, I don't know. It just feels... It feels slightly weaker. I feel like the switches are a little further back. I mentioned this in my unboxing video, and I noticed that right off the bat. The click felt a slightly bit weaker, and that it is very apparent if you've owned an AM. It's not a deal breaker. It's actually just a preference thing. The click is actually really quite nice. I do enjoy the click. It's just a little bit weaker than the AM. The Zowie mice, these two specifically, use the Huano switches, so they're really tough to click. So, sensor, if you've owned an AM, you'd know that the sensor is flawless. Well, not flawless, but it's probably one of the best tracking optical sensors on the market. Very accurate, there's no acceleration whatsoever, very little jitter. Even at the higher DPI settings, which you changed at the bottom here, I've noticed that it was flawlessly tracking on my screen. Haven't had any issues with that. The only problem you'll find with this optical sensor is the max tracking speed, and that's basically how fast you can swipe without it malfunctioning on your screen. For I would say like 95% of gamers, you're not going to have an issue with that. This is more of an issue for extremely low sense gamers. Counter-Strike players might notice this if their sensitivity is really low. So let me just take this mouse pad away. I was just using this for like so you guys can see the mouse a little clearer. I use this mouse pad when I game, because I like having a lot of real estate when I swipe. When I'm playing a low-sense game like AVA or Counter-Strike, I tend to swipe really fast, and for the most part, I've never had an issue with the tracking as I'm swiping. There's only been 2 times where I've swiped and it's malfunctioned on me, but I was swiping it quite literally this fast. Actually faster than that. I don't even know what caused me to do it, but I swiped so fast that my mouse just lost traction. This is a very rare occurrence, obviously. The max tracking speed for this mouse, from the numbers, it says it's around 3.5 to 4 meters per second, which is very, very fast. Most people will never swipe their mouse that fast. So again, this is probably the only issue you will have with this sensor specifically. So just worry about that if you're an extremely low-sense gamer. If you're not, then you don't really have to worry about it, so that's kind of cool. Liftoff distance-wise, this is only a millimeter liftoff. If that, I wouldn't even say it's 2 millimeters. It stops tracking after 1 CD stack, so pretty nice. Right, so the mouse feet are very big on this thing. It comes with Teflon feet. It comes with an extra set. I have it stored somewhere. The Teflon feet are very good. Very slippery. You'll notice it tends to be a little more, I don't know, less slippery as the time goes on, and that's just a natural occurrence because as the feet wear down, the Teflon has a bigger area surface to slide on. So naturally, you're going to have a little more resistance as you use the mouse, and so they give you an extra pair of feet if that happens. I play games a lot, and I go through my mouse feet within about 6 months, I would say. You could go longer if you're not really nitpicky about it. I really like having a really fast mouse though, so I tend to change mine every 6 months. So it's kind of nice that they added an extra set of feet. If you've noticed, the mouse feet are the same on the AM, so if you have an extra set from your AM, you can obviously put them on the FK, so that's kind of cool. Scroll wheel, right, same scroll wheel as the AM, look-wise, just changed color. The scroll wheel has kind of just been, I don't really bother with the scroll wheel much. It's not really a deal breaker for me. The scroll is very tactile, I would say. The AM actually has a bit of slop when I used it. Like, I don't know if you can hear that, but it has a little bit of slop before it actuates, and that was kind of something I really didn't like about the AM. This one, it has very little, if any, slop. So it's very precise when you scroll. It doesn't have any gimmicky features like endless scroll or whatever, but I mean, it gets the job done. It's not an amazing scroll wheel. It's just, you know, it works. It functions. It's something you don't have to think about. Most people, when they hold this mouse, they'll probably do a claw grip, and I usually claw grip it like this. But it is a claw grip mouse, safe to say. Right, so comes with 4 mouse buttons, or 4 side buttons, 2 on each side, and you can program it so that these are disabled and that only these function, or if you're left-handed, you can obviously have these function and these disabled, or you can just have them all enabled. I usually don't use these because I don't usually press it with my pinky. I use these two, which are awesome. When you're holding the mouse, they're not really in the way. You're not really holding the mouse buttons. They're just kind of like right above it. So it's very easy to just like click the mouse buttons when you need to use them. I use it as the special action button instead of E on ABA. It's very useful for that, or knife in Black Ops, or just miscellaneous. You can use this for anything. By default, it's just forward and backwards on Internet Explorer or whatever. But yeah, very nice mouse buttons on the side here. They just feel really good, and I like that. Appreciate that. As a mouse, I've really enjoyed using it. I think I'll use it as my primary until maybe I find something else. Maybe I'll try the new Razer ambidextric mouse, or I'll try another product. But for now, this is a very good mouse. I do enjoy this mouse. It has really good grip. I like the way it feels in my hand, other than this is just a nitpicky area for me, the mouse buttons. But you kind of just get used to it after a while, especially if you used an AM prior to this. But again, feels great in my hand. I love using it. Great mouse. If you are on the market for a new mouse, an ambidextric one specifically, if you really like tough clicks and flawless tracking, this is a great mouse to look forward to picking up. I don't know if it's available yet to most people. I believe it comes out either this month or next month. I'm not really sure. But you can pick it up for about $60 plus shipping from Zowie. Very good mouse. Compared to the AM, I would say just get the FK. Because the AM it's a great mouse. It's also a great mouse, but just the way it kind of feels, it just doesn't feel as intuitive as the FK. So if you're on the market for a new mouse, I recommend getting this mouse. This is an excellent mouse, and I do recommend this product to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.